Hi, beautiful people, and welcome to a new episode of Essensuality The Podcast. Today is different because we'll be doing the episode all in English. I have a special guest for you today, and as you know, this is a place where I love to celebrate women telling their stories. So let's get started and say hello to the beautiful Conchita Leeflang all the way from Los Angeles. Hi, Conchita.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for accepting my invitation. So, guys, I
Thank
have to let you know Conchita is a double platinum winning recording artist, an actress, a model, a mom, and an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? And a fierce woman. So, we're going to talk about your story, Conchita. I'm a little bit emotional, because this is the first time I do the episode totally in English. So, it's different.
In all
And
the languages you speak, yeah, you can do it in so many different ones, but yeah.
I know, and we both speak Dutch, but because you guys have to know, Conchita was born in Suriname just like me, and
Yeah.
but she's traveled a lot because her father was the ambassador for Belgium, right, Conchita?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So I
Mhm.
wanted to know. Let's start from the beginning. How was it for you traveling all around different countries and having to get used to different usages and different, ambient atmospheres all the time when you were young?
Yeah, I adapted pretty quick. It was of course going from Suriname to Brussels, moving to Brussels. It was I wouldn't say it was a culture shock. It was different, of course. It was cold when we arrived there, very cold. So that to me was something I wasn't used to because I would travel to Miami where it's warm.
Right.
And so yeah, it was something. It was different. The language was different. You know, a lot of people spoke French. I was like, what
Right.
are they saying? I couldn't understand a word what they were saying. So I had to learn, aside from the culture, I had to learn the language. I didn't really have to because I spoke Dutch and Flemish are basically the same. It's just that some of
Right.
the words are different.
Right.
So and I would, yeah, it was a great, it was great.
Getting used to, yeah, because maybe
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know, but us people from Suriname, since Suriname was an ex-Dutch colony, we grew up speaking Dutch as
Yes.
well as the language of the country. So that was something that definitely helped you along the way of getting used to stuff.
Yes.
And you grew up, I mean, your father, before he was the ambassador of Belgium, he was also an entertainer. So you
Yes.
actually grew up in a family of entertainers. And I guess that's where your passion for music came from when you were young.
Yes. My father and my grandfather. My grandfather on my mother's side, he used to play the banjo
Oh,
and sing with me and teach me songs. And my dad would sing all the time. He would sing
right,
every day. And I used to sing with him all the time, the
right.
craziest songs. And then he would repeat the songs and repeat them. And it was the best part of my upbringing with my father was my music.
Beautiful. So at a very young age, you actually discovered that you loved music. And when did you realize that you wanted to pursue it like as a career?
Um, when I when I was in Brussels, there was how do you call it? There was a talent show in school,
Right.
and I just loved dancing because I did that in Suriname too, even as a little kid. You know, we would perform and things like that. You know, I would use my brush to sing, of course, like everybody else. But it was a talent show at school, and after the talent show, a big singer from Belgium, what is his name again? I forgot his name. A big singer from Belgium approached me
Oh, wow.
and asked if I wanted to, sing on one of his records. Like he would
Oh,
produce a record for me.
oh, wow.
And yeah, and I was, how old was I? 16 years old or something.
Oh, that
And that
was
was my
young.
first 15 or 16, 15. And that was my first record I ever did. And it was, oh, what is this? I forgot his name. It was Hoshana, Don't Fade Away.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know if I remember the song. Hoshana, ho, don't fade away.
Girl,
Hoshana.
Yeah.
First trying to hold.
Wow. So you
Oh,
started with the big bang to get, I mean, usually it takes a little bit more time to come to a point to start recording as an artist.
yeah.
But
Oh
it,
no, after my talent show, I think 2 weeks after, I was in a studio recording the song.
oh wow.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the talent show, I wasn't singing, I was doing playback. I was doing
Oh,
playback for Janet Jackson, a Janet
oh,
Jackson song.
oh,
And
really?
then he asked me to sing for him. So I sang for him when he came to the school. I think he was picking up a family member or something. And then
Oh,
he came to the school and I sang for him. And he asked if I could go to the studio.
you see,
And
when stuff is supposed to happen,
I know,
right time, right
yeah,
circumstances, things just happen
it
like that.
was his name was Summer, something Summer,
Oh, wow.
Willie Summers, Willie
Okay.
Summers. Yeah, it's a
So you
Flemish singer.
didn't have any fear, like you were a 16-year-old girl, you know, how did you feel about, did you go in there fearless or were you like a little bit nervous?
I'm sure I was nervous. It was so long ago. Well, I'm only 25, but okay. It was so long ago, right? It was so long ago. I don't really remember having any fear at that time. I
Oh,
don't remember.
yeah, that's
I
beautiful.
I can only remember the exciting part. Like I'm
Right.
excited. Wow, the record,
Yeah,
you know.
of course.
But yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of fear.
But
I wasn't
you,
fearless at that age.
when we're young like that, most of the time what happens is that we don't know what can go wrong.
Yes.
So we just basically go in there. And I miss that part of being young sometimes,
Yes.
because
Yes.
now I ask myself so many questions sometimes that
Yeah.
I actually paralyze myself by the questions, that I ask.
Mhm.
So, but at that age, you just go and you just think the world is ready for you, and
Yes,
that's
it's
really
true.
beautiful. So that was your first experience. And from
Yes.
there on, you were unstoppable, I guess, because you went on
Yes.
to become double platinum
Yes.
quite quick, right?
That
Quite
song didn't even do that well. That song did okay,
okay.
but no, but it was my first song, I can't skip it.
Right, right. No, it's the first love because that's the one
Yeah,
that actually opened the doors. And
or
then you continued along the path, and that's when you realized, hey, I want to make a career out of singing.
yes, because then I met a producer called Kigoy Paluku. He's a producer in Brussels, and
Right.
we started like recording songs in his studio. He had a home studio. We started recording songs. So he was basically the one that where I started really developing songs and get to the next level. And
Right.
then the producer from Technotronic then approached me, and that's where I made my record with them.
Oh, you did. So the big record was with the producers from Technotronics.
Technotronic, yeah.
Oh, wow. And they were the bomb, diggity bomb, dum dum. And
I know. I was touring
get up,
so much.
see? Right.
Yes,
Those were the
they were.
days. Definitely.
Those were the days.
Oh, wow. So you performed as well because,
Oh
with
yeah, I was touring all over the world, all over. I was in
ah,
Italy a lot. I was in France a lot. England,
wow,
UK. I wanted to say, and yeah, I was all over. Spain.
beautiful, beautiful.
Sometimes it was tough. Sometimes it was really tough. I
I
really wanted to
imagine
be,
being so
you
young and
know, yeah,
it's not easy to,
yeah,
also to have that fun. Well, you come from a strong family because
yeah,
I know a little bit, we're friends as well. So I know a little bit of your background and you come from a very strong and supporting family,
yeah, yeah.
so that's a good part when you're so young and you get thrown
Mhm.
into stardom because at least
Yeah,
you have that base that keeps you
absolutely.
grounded,
Me
you
grounded, yeah.
know? And how were your parents? What were your parents saying about the fact that you
They have always supported me. They
right,
loved it. They love when they still do, and they have always supported me to do what I really love.
right.
And especially my dad, he loves singing.
Exactly,
So
that's what I was thinking because he's actually the one that introduced you into this world. So
yeah,
for him to see you blossom like that must have been a beautiful satisfaction. And also, he must have been so proud, right?
yes, yeah, absolutely.
Right, good. And from there on, there was a moment. So here you are, successful as a singer,
Mhm.
going touring all over. And then there's a moment that they offer you an amazing contract,
Yeah, to move
modeling
to,
contract, to go
yeah,
to the US of A, which in that period, the States was like a dream, you know? I
yeah,
mean, at least I remember we were looking to the States like dreams could come true there, and it was like magic, and there was so many amazing things
yes,
happening, like
land of
fame
opportunity.
and all sorts of stuff. And also, to reminisce a little bit, we would see finally a lot of people that looked like us
Mm-hmm.
in roles that we wouldn't typically see here in Europe,
Yep,
right? We saw
yep, this is true.
actresses, we saw actors, we saw people being successful in sport, and they looked like us. So that gave us permission to dream big as well,
Yeah,
right?
yes, absolutely. And
Right.
it was because I modeled before. I modeled in Europe as well. So
Okay.
that's how I got the contract. Yeah, because I was modeling there. But yeah, when I came, I was supposed to stay for up to a year. The
Right.
working visa was supposed to be for a year, and I was like, it's new. Okay, I'm gonna go home afterwards. After 3 months, I started thinking, I don't know if I'm leaving again. I think I'm staying.
Oh, really?
So
So tell
I
us a little bit what it was like, because, okay, you were successful, and I guess people were starting to know who you were in Europe as a recording
yeah,
artist, and then
yeah.
to go to the States and having to start somehow a little bit from the start, from scratch again, in
Mhm.
a big country where there's so much going on. How was
Yeah.
it for you?
It was great. I liked because immediately started taking acting classes. So for me, it was like, wow, something new and fresh.
Right.
So I could explore something new. So I wasn't even worried about anything else anymore. I wasn't even, the thing is also when I left Belgium, unfortunately, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for my producers, I did a song with a specific producer and a group.
Right.
They probably never forgave me for that, but this was really an opportunity I couldn't say no to. We just recorded a song and it just came out. So I was supposed to tour with them.
Mm.
And yeah, and that was the song was Banging Night, not the sexually, not the other way around. The name of
Okay.
the group was something something and the Banging.
Oh.
But of course, people see it. Yeah, people see it the other way,
The
which is not.
90s, those things were possible.
Those things, yeah, and it was just another. It wasn't the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just recorded a song with them, and I was supposed. I know none of them are forgiving me for that because the song exploded.
Oh,
But it exploded when I was already here, and
right.
I just couldn't go back. I had to continue. I had to really look out for myself because it was the group, and I was just I was featured on
Part
it.
of it. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and so I came here and I left that on the side a little bit because I was doing the modeling. I had to go from agency to agency, from this and that, and then I started taking acting classes, and it started to be fun. And
Right.
um, um, yeah, and before you
So that
knew,
was a natural progression for you from singing and I mean, I always say once you're on stage, you're
yes,
actually always acting. There's a part of you that's always
absolutely,
taking on different personas, because most of us are actually very timid in real life,
yes.
and then we get on stage and we forget
On
about
stage, nobody recognizes us.
it, right?
That
So
is
that
so
must have
true.
been a bit of a natural progression for you. But like you say, oftentimes you get confronted with difficult choices,
Hmm.
and not always we're able to make the right choice, but in
Yeah.
this case you did, because you went on to be very successful in
Hmm.
the choices that you made.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so with
Absolutely.
the acting, so now you're taking these acting classes. Obviously, you're discovering a whole different side of yourself, because
Hmm.
you're like, hey, look at me. How was that? In Hollywood, because you were in Los Angeles, and it's just like the
Place
place
to
to
be for
be.
act. Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
how was the atmosphere? How was it?
It was my acting classes. I started the first time I went to acting classes. I was referred by my friend Tonya Kelly. You know Jade? Don't walk
Of
away,
course,
baby,
I
walk
do that.
away.
I know
She's
them.
a singer. Yes. So she referred me to Aaron Spicer
Oh,
acting school.
right. Yeah,
The
he's
best
a
thing
big
I
one.
ever, the best referral I've ever had. So
Wow.
I went to his class and I sat down and kind of looked and I immediately knew, oh my God, I want to be an actress, you know?
Wow.
And so I started taking classes with him. And I remember I had an audition for a movie and he told me not to go. He said, you're not ready. But I
Oh,
did some theater in Belgium. So I thought, I'm good. You
does
know, I
he
can do
know,
this.
right?
Yes. If I tell you how I sucked at that audition, you don't even understand. They laughed
Those
me
are
out of
the
that audition.
lessons.
They laughed me out of that audition. And he told me afterwards, I said, I told you not to go. So that was my experience. But then he loved the fact that I said, okay, I'm really gonna learn now, you know. So
Right.
my first series was Sliders. It was a
Okay.
TV series I was on, and I booked it from basically one line. I
Oh,
had to
really?
audition, yeah, audition one line,
Wow.
and they loved it. The way I carried that one line got me the audition, got me the series. So it was
Wow.
fun. Science fiction. It was fun. It was a very fun series to do. I've lost contact with a lot of the people that were in there. There's one kept on seeing when we were out. What's his name? Jerry. Jerry. He's a very famous guy. I forgot his name. But other than that, yeah, it was a really great run. I loved it.
And also, because right now in Italy, we talk a lot everywhere in the world. We talk a lot about representation. And for people of color in Italy, it's still very difficult to get our foot in the door and to be represented. And right now, with Netflix is actually the first one who's been doing two different series with most of the cast is people of color.
Wow.
And it's
In Italy.
just dropped last month, you know what I mean? So we're still fighting to get, accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
But how was it in Hollywood? Because now they talk a lot about representation and there's a lot going on, especially these last 10 years. But when you got there, it was still a little bit different. How was that?
Yeah. It was at that point, at that time, you don't really notice it because you're just happy when you can book a job
Right,
because you still see black people on TV, so you are oblivious to it. You
right.
just see like, okay, if I book the job, whoever they need, okay. But then you start to notice years later that there aren't a lot of black people in all the series and the movies. They just
Right.
drop a few here and there, and it became painful to watch, you know?
Yes,
And because there were a lot of shows in the past. You know, you have to talk about Good Times, all
of
in the, not
course.
all, the Jeffersons,
Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son, and it was
Right,
a lot of mixture. So it was great. I felt like there are things out there, but then it basically, to me, stopped.
right,
It
yes.
stopped at a certain point, and it became all about other people, or if they do show black people, it would be on only the black network. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And
Yeah,
that was BET.
right. And a
So
lot
that
of
started to become
typecasting
a
as
problem.
well, right? A lot of
Absolutely, yes.
typecasting. Like
Yeah,
you can be a nurse, you can be a
absolutely.
businesswoman.
Oh, I was always, mine was all, a lot of times when I would go to audition, it was something to do with like sexy or hooker or stripper.
No, that's exactly the problem we've been having
I'm
because they
whispering
would
because
sexualize.
big ears.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? The daughter in
yeah,
the room.
yeah,
No, but that's the problem we face a lot, and that's why I was asking, did
absolutely.
you ever feel pressured, or did you ever feel like, yeah, pressured to change the way you look also, because the standard
Yeah,
of beauty in Hollywood seemed to be very, very strict, and
yeah.
very in a certain type, and it's a
It is.
darker skinned
Yeah.
woman who looks with beautiful black features.
Mhm. It is there, and you know what's really funny? I don't know if you know the movie How to Be a Player. I think it's How to Be a Player. I don't even remember the exact title.
Right.
I booked one of the biggest roles in there.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did. I did, and but when I read the clause with my agent,
Right.
it said that I had to do nudity,
Right.
and that is just not me. I just don't do that, on screen and all that. So
Yeah.
we went back and forth, and it was basically a must because of the scene, the way the scenes were, the way they were
Showing.
put together, and the way, yeah. So I had to say no.
Mm.
It was tough, but I'm very happy I didn't do it. I
Wow.
don't know if it would have changed my whole career, have no idea, but it was the best choice. I still wouldn't want for my daughter to look online and see that she can find these kind of things. She's a tough cookie. She
Yeah,
would have
no,
liked it.
it's not an easy choice because as an actor, there's not many, especially a female
Hmm. Hmm.
actresses, most of the time that's required,
Hmm.
to show
Absolutely.
your
And
body, to look in a certain way.
yeah.
People can criticize your body. There's a
Mhm.
lot of pressure to
Yeah,
stay true to yourself.
absolutely.
Oh, it's a very thin line to walk. It's not an easy one. I'm
No.
sure about it. Yeah. And also as a woman, I want to go back to that as well because okay, these last years we've seen the Me Too movement. We're not going to get too political, but have you ever felt pressure to behave a certain way in order to get work?
I mean, yeah, it has happened several times where they make you feel uncomfortable. I never
Right.
know where to look when I'm doing this. I'm just looking at you. It, yes, I've felt uncomfortable several times, but I wouldn't say to a point of um I've heard it so many times. Let's put it that way. Hey, I can do this for you. Hey, and it turns to that whole hey, I can do this for you. You should be in my movie turns into hey, let's go have a drink. Let's go have some dinner. And then I know it's cut because nothing is going to happen. It's not going to happen
Right.
because you're trying to get your foot in the door by telling me all that. So I cut it off real quick.
Right.
But I have been in a position where I literally have to go for a callback, and I'm sitting in that room for the callback, and there were three producers.
Mm.
And then at some point, one of the producers said, I want to talk to her alone. I want to check something. I want to talk to her by myself. And then the two producers left. And then he asked me, I think I know you. I know you from, I think it was um, from a singer. And he said he met me before through the singer.
Ah.
And I think I know you from there. Weren't you? Blah blah blah. With, and then I said, "Oh my God, yes, I know her." And I started talking. Goes like, "Yeah, girl, I had my eye on you for the longest time. I
Oh.
was looking for you everywhere." When I saw, and then it became so personal. And at
Right.
that moment, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like, "Is it? Can I book the job now, or, or are you trying to?" You know what I'm saying? And then it
Right.
becomes very uncomfortable, and it becomes a whole nother conversation where you could have called me afterwards and asked. You could have called my agent, hey, can you ask her? You don't have to do that and have people leave the room. So it made me extremely uncomfortable.
Of course.
And then they came back in the room, and all of a sudden, like I felt like the whole vibe was not there anymore because
Right.
it killed the vibe. And yeah, it sucked. It really, really sucked. And then I left. They did call the agent and say, they really loved it. They really loved her and blah blah blah. I didn't book it, but then I start putting in my head, didn't I book it because I said to the guy, can we move on with this? Maybe he didn't like that I said that to him. So you start thinking about everything. So that was really uncomfortable,
Yeah, and it's
but it never
always a
went into
pity.
anything else. But still,
Yeah, and it's always a pity because you feel like you've been able to do the job, you would
yeah,
be perfect for the job, you're
yeah,
qualified for the job,
absolutely.
and then
You
you
know,
still don't get it because somebody else feels that they have the power to
to
pressure
make
you
you,
into
yeah.
something.
Absolutely. And it sucks because maybe it wasn't for me. Absolutely. It could be that 10 other girls were better than me. Could
Right.
absolutely be like that. But the fact that you that the conversation started with, I remember, oh my God, I've been looking for you everywhere. It became way too much where I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
turned into we should get together. What do you, I
Mhm.
mean, it was just not necessary.
No. And what did you do in cases like this? Because things, stuff like this, as a woman, it can
Hmm.
eat away a bit at your confidence. It can eat away a bit at your, it can create some self-doubt in you. Like you said, afterwards you go back home and you ask yourself, could I've done stuff differently? Or did I say something wrong?
Yeah.
And what is your way of coping with it? Because you live in a world
Hmm.
where it's actually, you're all the time confronted with this. So you
Yeah.
actually need some type of mantra, some type of personal way
Hmm.
of staying sane and staying true
Yeah.
to yourself. So how do you do that? How do you deal with that?
Um, yeah, you just said it. Try to stay sane. I don't even know how I do it.
Meditation.
I just, yeah, no, I don't meditate. I'm too hyper for that.
Right.
I wish I would, but I don't know. I think I just let it fly by. It bothers me, but you almost feel like, what else can I do? Let me just let it
Okay.
go.
Right.
So yeah, there's nothing special or specific that I do that,
Right.
but it happens.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know people have it way worse than me, but
Yeah,
still, it's
I
something.
mean, the Me Too movement and all other movements, they started for a reason because
Yes,
a lot of women were like, now this is enough. We have to put a stop to it. And
yeah.
lucky enough that, they had the courage to speak out because it's not easy even to speak out, to be believed, to, it's a,
Oh, you have no idea. Even in business, you have no
it's a
idea what I
lot.
went through with some people. You have no idea. It starts
Yeah,
professional, it ends up all with you on a date. Or
yeah,
I went through one case. I'm not even gonna mention it. It's like so not worth
right.
it anymore. But yeah, it's pretty crazy in everything in business as well.
Yeah, that's the fact, as a beautiful woman. That's
Mm.
one of the things you are confronted with all the time because it's kind of like your beauty gives them a pass to try.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why not try?
Like, why not?
She can say no, but when you say no, even in a nice and friendly way,
Yeah,
they
they get
feel so
offended.
offended that you then lose all the other opportunities that could have
Yeah,
been there. So it's a lose-lose situation.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's really not easy. And what about friendship? Because I mean, being living in a place like Hollywood, Los Angeles, of course, there's a lot of other artists, a lot of other actresses, actors, and it's a world where there's a lot of competition as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So how about making friends? How does that work?
Yeah, it's I when I got here, a lot of my friends are still friends from my acting school that I'm
Okay,
very close to. And sometimes you go out, you create a bond with somebody, and it was easy for me to make friends and keep them. Most of my friends they're still my friends. My friends from Belgium are still my friends. My friends from Suriname are all still my friends. And
right,
it's like when you have that certain bond, it sticks. Or you make acquaintances that
right,
come and go. You see them from time to time, and then they not necessarily become like good friends, but it's people that when you see them out, you still say hi. You have a nice bond with them in a
right,
different way. But my friendships are very, very, very strong. I've had friends for a long time, or even here. And new friends, I don't have that many new friends, especially with COVID.
yeah,
But
obviously, yeah,
yeah, but there are some new friends from the past years that are very special to me.
okay,
So yeah, there's great friendships. And my friendships from when I just got here, I made so many friends that I'm still friends with. Sometimes you don't talk for like 5, 6 months, and when you hear each other, you just want to scream and bring everything up that's happening in your
yes,
life. And
exactly.
that's powerful, and that's what I really like. It's so funny because I was going to post something about friendships actually today.
Oh, you see,
Nice post that I saw. Yeah.
right,
So yeah, it is. I consider myself very, very lucky with people I have around me.
oh, that's good. That's great to hear because I mean, it's not easy. And for the people that are not in that, in Los Angeles, we have an idea about what it must be like to live there,
Yeah.
but to hear it from you and you live there, it's obviously a different situation. And even like, do you feel pressure to always look your best, being that you're an actress, being that, you live in a in glamorous surroundings? Do you
Mhm.
feel the need to like, oh, I have to bring my daughter to school. I have to put my lipstick on because I don't know who I can meet? Or do you feel really relaxed about,
Very
being
relaxed.
who
I
you
always
are?
have my sweatpants on. I don't, I have a little lipstick on now, but no, I don't feel that at all. Some people do, but I think it's fake because
Right.
most of the people, when they walk around here, when you go, I live in Beverly Hills.
Oh,
When you
yeah.
go downtown Beverly Hills, where all the little shops are and where all the, the coffee, if you want to run for coffee, most of the time they really don't have anything on but like either their hair in a bun or sweatpants. And when you go to Rodeo Drive, the people you see walking around on Rodeo Drive are most of the time tourists or people who think they're going to walk there with all makeup and all that, maybe finding somebody who,
We'll
I don't know
discover
what they're looking
them.
for. Yes. But that's not how it works. It doesn't go like that. When I go on Rodeo Drive, I can go to Louis Vuitton. Doesn't matter. I'm still in my sweatpants, running in quickly to get my bag, whatever I have ordered or whatever. So
Right.
it's not reality. It's movie. It's show. When
Right.
people see things like that. And but the people who live around here, you see them jogging and everything in the streets, and no, they absolutely nobody's all made
All
up.
done up every single minute of the
No,
day.
absolutely not. They will all laugh when we talk
Thank
about
God.
something. They're like, people really think that that's all we do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, thank God. Because I remember a couple of years you were on a TV show, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, the Housewives
Dutch,
of Beverly
yeah,
Hills,
yeah, the
right?
Dutch Hollywood, yeah, the Dutch
Dutch
Hollywood,
Housewives of Beverly Hills. So it was
yeah,
Dutch women who had moved to Beverly Hills
yeah,
and who were living the lifestyle,
yeah,
right?
yes,
Luxury and all that we think is real. You guys were
yeah,
actually living it. So that was
yeah.
quite again interesting to watch.
Yeah, what happens in my house was real. What happens,
Right.
but of course, when you film the house and the kitchen is all like perfect,
Yeah.
it's because for the show.
Yeah.
But then you leave, and I'm making my chicken or whatever. I put things all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it has to be, so of course, for everybody on camera. But of course, I like to be neat.
Right.
But still, it's the life is real because we're really living our life.
Right.
But if you see me walk around going to the supermarket on the show, I would maybe have like my nice little bag and my heels on to go to the supermarket. I don't remember. But in real life, I would have my sneakers on and my little sweater and go to the supermarket.
Right.
So
Because at the end of the day, we just want to be comfortable. That's the main
absolutely. But
thing.
I would still go, yeah, but it would still be the same scenario, me going to the supermarket. It's just
Yeah.
that we enhance it a little.
Of course, but that's also right because at one point you sell a dream, you not sell, but you want
Yeah.
to show the people at home something that is different than
Yeah.
their life. And it was also way before Instagram and all those social medias where everybody seems to have a super glamorous life on Instagram.
I know. I know. It's
Everybody tries to
hilarious.
emulate that. Well, everybody not, but a lot of people try to emulate that kind of life.
Yes.
So
Yes.
obviously that's not real. So okay, your career moved on. You went to you did acting. You did a lot. I mean, you did so much interesting things. It's amazing. We would have to talk like 3 days in a row if we want to talk about all that you've done. But
Yeah.
what, in your opinion, is the thing in showbiz I'm talking now you're
Uh,
most proud of?
I have my answer ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there. That's why I stopped you.
My daughter.
I
Okay.
know.
I know.
We talk
Yeah.
about it later.
It's showbiz. Okay. Because I
Right.
was like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever created to
I
me. Yeah.
know.
But in showbiz, so what were you asking? What is the most?
The thing you're most proud of, an achievement that you say, wow, never in my wildest dreams I thought I would achieve this. And this is one of the things that I'm very proud of that I done, a job, a song, a movie.
I loved when I did a TV show here where I had to perform as Tina Turner.
Oh, wow.
And because I'm a huge Tina Turner fan. So
Listen.
even if it was for one season, becoming Tina Turner and was beautiful to me because I love her. I love her music. I love what she does.
Wow.
And so yeah, I love doing that. And also it seems crazy, but I've done a lot of records and performances and shows, but one of my favorite things was jamming in on stage or in the studio with Paul Allen. Paul
Right.
Allen passed away now,
Right. Yeah, I
but
know.
that was one of my favorite things to do is jam with him. And I also sang with Axl Rose there, and it was those were basically the things where I say I really
Memorable
yeah
moments. Yeah,
I love
because
them.
you
Yeah,
were I remember you were very close to Paul Allen. You were a very good
yes,
friend of his. So,
yes,
yeah.
very close.
And it's amazing how you can encounter casually people that have whose presence have changed the world,
Yeah,
and then you become friends with them, and you see obviously their normal part, their human
yeah,
part, their
mm,
vulnerable part,
yeah,
while the world sees them in one way, but for you he was your friend.
yeah,
you
yeah. He
know
really was.
it's amazing. Well, you do have a couple of famous friends, girl. We don't want to be name dropping, but you do have a couple of famous friends.
Yeah, some people, oh yeah, that I treasure tremendously. Oh
Right.
yeah, I do.
Beautiful,
There's
beautiful.
yeah, there are
Yeah,
people
because
that I really treasure.
it's like you said, and like, I'm sure, people are at the end of the day people, and then there's the fame, then there's the persona, but they're
Yeah,
human beings. We're all human beings, and
yes,
we all
absolutely,
crave those meaningful friendships, those bonds of
absolutely,
love, right? So,
absolutely, yes, absolutely. And some people just, they are huge, they are extremely famous, and when they embrace you
right,
for what they love about you is so priceless
right.
because I didn't have to be their friends. You know what I'm saying? But they embrace you and they love you and they care about you and your child.
Wow.
And it is special. And there's only a few out there that are really like that.
Yeah.
That is priceless.
Of course it is. It is.
Mhm.
Because, well, you come to a certain point in your life that you have a good career, you've done a lot of amazing things, you have beautiful friends, you live in Los Angeles, which is one of the coolest places to live on the earth.
Mhm.
And then something special happens. You become a mom, which tops everything,
Yeah.
right?
And, my God, I'm
Everything.
getting goosebumps just listening to it. Oh man,
Yeah, it's
the
such a
best thing that ever happened to me is my
wow.
daughter.
It's amazing, huh? How how everything
Oh
kind of comes full circle when you get a child.
my God, I'm getting goosebumps. It's just it's nobody could ever describe it. You cannot explain how it feels,
Right.
and
Beautiful.
the love she gives me and the she's my yeah, she's everything.
I know because
Literally the
children
word
have this.
everything.
Yeah, they have this way of grounding you also, because as people, sometimes you might feel a little lost. You might be like, where am
Yeah,
I going? But the minute you have a child, which is not to say that people who choose not to have children don't have this in other ways, but I mean, when in life you get the chance to be a mom,
yeah.
you just feel like, okay, this is it, this
Really
is my
is.
anchor,
Yes.
right? And you learn so much about yourself as well,
Yeah.
because your whole perspective on things change,
Hmm.
right? It
Absolutely.
enriches and it's beautiful. But you haven't given up your career. You've
No.
just decided that I'm not gonna take on any gigs that take me away from my daughter, right?
Yeah,
That's a choice you
absolutely.
made
Yeah.
professionally.
I only did like two or three because
Right,
I just really, yes, I needed to be a mom. I
right,
needed to be a mom, and anything else that I could do, which is, that I could do still being around her,
right.
I was open for. But yeah, being a mom became the number one priority.
Right, absolutely. And is that how you came about, how the ideas of go venturing into other directions as well
Yeah,
came?
yeah.
Because you became a successful entrepreneur, you
Mhm,
know, different businesses, you created different businesses
mhm.
from the
Yeah,
moment she was born, because I
yes.
followed you. I'm, quite informed. So tell me how that process came about.
Yeah, I mean, it was based on her. It's really funny. Everything was basically around her. I started writing a children's book,
Okay.
traveled the world with London Victoria because I was traveling with her a lot.
Right.
And she was exploring different places. So I want to write some more, but I started with my first one and basically explaining to the world where she is from. So it explains where her father is from, where I am from, and then where she is from, and all her friends, different cultures, and all these kind of things. And so we're gonna start a series different countries that she travels to. So she
Oh,
will teach people about countries in
wow.
her own words. And now she's older, where she can really do it herself as well.
Oh, that's
So that was the idea
beautiful.
behind the children's book. Yeah,
That's a great concept,
yeah,
especially today with all that's been going
yeah,
on and all the
absolutely.
different cultures. We really have to start listening to each other. We really have to start understanding each other's culture
Absolutely.
and our differences and learn from each other, right? So that's a
Yep.
perfect thing. And I always say you got to teach them when they're young, because
Mm,
that's the best moment to start. So that's
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. And that was the first business. And then I know you went into, also you had your own clothing line for kids.
Little baby, yeah, a baby clothing line, and it was great. I did the designs and everything, and then I sold it to a company, a Mexican company in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I didn't sell the name, so the name is still mine.
Oh,
And
cool.
because I know if I ever want to go back and do it again, but the designs that I made at that point, I sold the designs as well. So some of the designs I can still do, some are theirs.
Wow.
But yeah, and that's when, and then I started doing how do you call it? And then for a little while, I did a TV show in Holland, and
Right.
then I started developing a lash company. And when
Yeah.
I did the lash company, there was a problem with people applying the lash the applying the lashes. So I
Me, I'm like a disaster girl. You don't want to know. Me, and I love eyelashes. I love the way they make my eyes look. I adore them. But to apply them, and the good thing about okay, so let's first say the name is I am
Conchita.
Conchita, which is your name, and then the game with the I, instead of
I,
just I, it's the I am. It's a beautiful
I am.
concept. And it's
Yeah,
actually an applicator
yeah,
which helps you put on the lashes and curl them in like split seconds, right?
yeah. You can curl them because you have two attachments. You can
Wow.
apply them because it's 90 degrees. So I really had people who wear glasses in mind.
Yeah, because if
So
you think about it, I mean, I'm at the point of my life where I need my reading glasses. So if I want to put on eyelashes and see what I'm doing, it's impossible without my
yeah,
glasses on.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's an amazing concept that
yeah,
you put together.
yeah.
Amazing.
Really, I mean, it helps people with glasses mostly. And then people who are fine, some people can use tweezers because it's easier for them. But if you wear glasses, you can really use tweezers
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, I
So
blind myself with tweezers, so I really thought it
I
was an
can't do it without this. Without my applicator, I cannot put it on.
beautiful. No, I love your versatility, because you're one of those people. If life just gives you this much of space and this much of a chance, you just go all in and make
So
it happen. And I love that energy about you. That's so inspiring, you
thank
know.
you.
if you look back, you've done everything. It's not like you say, okay, but it's out of my lane. You just go and do it. You make it
Yeah.
happen, you
Yes, I
know?
do.
And
Yep.
I love that about you because I read, in fact, that the concept behind your business is also want to inspire young entrepreneurs, people who want to
Yes,
do business,
absolutely. Yeah.
to uplift others, to have that generosity to say, you know what? I made a couple of mistakes along the way, but I'm going to share them with you. And if I can help you to avoid them, I will.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know?
That is true.
And that's a beautiful thing because, I mean, most of the time we live in a world of me, 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 and not many people have that, that outlook of, it's more
Yeah.
like competition. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
It is true.
Yeah. And a beautiful thing as well that I read about your company because, okay, you have the lash applicator and then you have the lashes as well, the
Yeah. The
beautiful
lash.
mink 3D lashes,
Yeah.
but no animals have been hurt. You're keeping these
No.
gorgeous lashes,
Yeah. No.
right?
Yeah. Cruelty free. Yeah. 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 Because I do have mink lashes, but I also have vegan lashes.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, so when
What is
people,
that
yeah,
supposed to mean? Sorry for my
vegan,
ignorance.
they're bio vegan lashes. They're created. So
Oh,
they're not, nothing is plant-based.
mhm.
Not, I mean, it's all plant-based.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful. They're soft as well because very often when they have to make those, they almost feel like plastic. But these
Yeah.
feel just like what do you call it? They feel just like mink. It feels like it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
it's yeah, and I also have an eyeliner glue where you just put the eyeliner glue immediately on your eye and you can apply the lash on it.
Wow.
And now I also just created actually a liner, a makeup remover stick. So you, if you make a mistake with your eyeliner, you
Oh,
take the makeup remover stick and you can just correct it. Or even if you, for example, something falls here and then you just take it here and just, remove it. And I
you
also
are a
have,
problem solver.
I know, I have pre-glued lashes too. So the glue is already on the lash
Okay.
and you take it off and then you put it right on your eye.
No hassle right there. Oh,
No
that's
hassle.
really beautiful. It's
Yeah.
good because in fact, like you say, especially a busy mom, you want to look good, but you don't always have the time to be there hours trying to
Yep,
trying to do,
absolutely.
so that's absolutely amazing. And I read something funny about the fact with your eyelashes. She said also, that you got a super endorsement from Kris Jenner
Kris Jenner, yeah,
and the
that was
Kardashians
beautiful.
mom who
Yes,
loves
and
your product.
yes, she's so sweet. That was so
Yeah.
sweet. And also Yolanda Hadid, she also
Oh,
wrote a beautiful thing about it. Also the Dutch actress Yolanta and
right,
Christina Milian, she did a
right.
beautiful video.
Wow.
And also what's her name? My God, I love her. Oh, I can't believe I can't get her name, but I don't want to miss her name. Yeah, but I mean, I had a few people really endorsing it and they use it, they use my lashes. And of course, at the end of the day, I'm really focused also deeply on the lashes. I want quality lashes,
Right, right.
and because at the end of the day, it's a lash company.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. But the fact that you have a group of other women empowering you, you give back, you empower others. I love that fact because that's why I do this podcast, because I really love that the stories we tell on here could inspire somebody, could
yeah,
empower somebody, could give somebody the courage to go ahead and follow their dream that they probably
yeah,
maybe didn't have.
yeah,
Because I think that we really live in a time that if we don't stick together, if we
yes,
don't empower each other,
it really is.
it's not going to
Yep,
work. And that's exactly, even without going into details, but that's exactly how we met because it was all about helping, empowering in a
yep,
moment
and
that it
sticking
was
together.
so necessary,
Yes,
and you
absolutely.
know what I'm talking about.
I absolutely do.
And that creates a lifelong bond with people,
Yes,
because no
yes,
matter what, you always have each other's back because you can't forget these kind of
yes,
actions,
absolutely.
and
Yep,
it's Beautiful. I love that fact that you're very attentive. And with your company, you're also very attentive on charity, which is
Absolutely.
another big part, Nowadays, if companies want to go ahead, I think they have to really have a purpose.
Hmm.
It can't just be, I want to be rich, I want my product to be the best, da da da. You have to have a purpose. There has to
Absolutely.
be something more behind what
Yeah.
you're doing, right?
Hmm.
And you are all in. I mean, you are amazing with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You are
I
no
have to be a
joke.
philanthropist. Oh, yes, 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 yes.
And
Money
it's
definitely
funny
going
because I
into
read that one of your best
charity.
friends, two of your best
Hmm.
friends actually, which is Sir Elton John and his husband David Furnish, just to
Oh my
name drop
God.
a second.
I love them. Yes, yes. I
Good.
have absolutely pledged that, 1% of my company to go towards their charity, AJF, Elton John AIDS Foundation. Yes.
Exactly,
And to
exactly.
me,
And the
it's
beautiful
very important.
thing that you said is that they have actually taught you as well that living is giving,
Yes,
right? There's
yes,
no purpose in doing stuff if you're not gonna give back.
absolutely.
And when I read it, I actually got goosebumps because I'm like, here you got such successful people
Mhm.
that wouldn't have to think about anything in life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they devote their life to this.
They put their
Nobody,
whole
I mean, every year there is something sent out where you see where
ex-
every penny goes. They devote their lives to this. I mean,
exactly
then it's not like they're living off this at all. This is their life to help others, and
right,
it's
right. It's
they sleep, eat,
amazing.
breathe it every single day. He
Right.
made a pledge, I'm going to end AIDS one day. And we came far because people are living with HIV no longer have to die of HIV.
We came a
So
long way, but we're not all the way there because I realize that a lot of the younger generation
mhm.
kind of forgets that it's still a thing,
Yeah,
because when
yeah,
we grew up, we were
true.
bombarded with like crazy ads and
Yes,
scary messages that,
yes.
we really
But
knew it
being
was
careful. Yeah,
right. But
yeah.
the younger generation seems to be like,
Like
oops,
it's not
skip
even
the
there.
past.
Yeah, it's the truth, which is
Yeah.
dangerous.
So
It's
we have
scary.
to we have to keep, the
Mhm.
attention on it
Yeah,
because it's very, very important. But I love the fact, like you said, you're going to give 1% of your proceeds back to
yeah,
the charity. You're
yeah.
also an ambassador for a Save a Girl, right?
Free ago,
Another
free ago.
charity.
Yeah, in
Very
Holland to free, yeah, girls out of prostitution.
wow.
They are locked up. They are locked up into prostitution. They're forced into prostitution, and where they're sold,
Wow.
and we free them.
Wow.
That
Beautiful.
is yeah, it is unbelievable,
It's
and it's
terrible. It's
it's
terrible. I mean, when I said beautiful, I mean to say beautiful that you put your energy
oh yeah, I
behind
know.
helping these girls, of course, because the
Yeah.
cause is terrible. It's like amazing that these days we still have trafficking, human
Mhm.
trafficking,
Yes,
humans being
it's
forced,
unreal.
right, to prostitute
Yeah.
themselves against their will. It's
Mhm.
how can this even still be a thing? You know?
Yes, and Evelyn Holston and Yolanta Cabot, they are the ones that are devoting their lives to this. And what they do is extraordinary,
Wow.
extraordinary. They
Wow.
travel there. I mean, those some of the countries are dangerous. And, I was supposed to go to Brazil. It
Mm.
didn't happen. And now, with the COVID and all, but yeah, if they already prepared me. If you go, no watches, no this, no that, it's scary to me because I mean, I have a daughter and some people are bold and it's not me. I am a chicken.
Right.
So, I would be in a situation where I have to go and look and be close to these situations where people might hurt me. That's why when I look at them and they do these things, I applaud them. Like it's tremendous.
Yeah, yeah, it
Put
is
their lives
because
on the line. They put their everything on the line.
yeah, I mean it is because it becomes a mission.
Yeah.
for most people who really put so much into it, I really applaud them as well, because
Mhm.
it's huge. You really have to be so selfless,
Yes. Selfless is the word.
right? It's true,
Yep.
because
Yep.
and especially like you said, now that you have a daughter, it becomes even more important for you to fight against these things, because it's like, if anything, you can even imagine if anything like that would even ever happen to you. You can't even go there
Oh
with your
my
mind. You don't even
God.
want to go there. So you can just imagine how it is for other
Oh my
parents.
God,
It's like,
you're crazy.
mm. In fact, no. No, but I have to say, I applaud you as well, Conchita, because I love how you went from double platinum winning recording artist, model, actress, entrepreneur. You keep inspiring people with what you do, and you're a woman's woman. You always have other
Oh yeah,
women's back,
I do.
and I
Yeah.
really, really love that about you, because I think, people can look up to you and be like, okay, and it's
Yeah.
it's it's amazing. So
Thank
tell me, before we go, I want to know what the plans for the future are, the projects for the future.
Yes, I'm expanding. I want to expand this business. I want to be one of the, I'm not going to say first, but one of the few Black women who has a full-blown cosmetic company. That's
Ooh,
why I want to expand. I want to expand this into a big cosmetic company,
right.
and if Estee Lauder can do it, why can't I?
Absolutely, girl.
So, I want to expand. I want to expand. Where also eventually I have other people creating products that I can incorporate in my company where we can, I want to make it big. I
Okay.
want to keep it, like one thing, but I want to make it big. I want to blow it up as best as I can.
Oh,
With
beautiful.
there will be other creators, other women, and then I could even invest in other people's,
All right.
products, but I wanted to become, you know, more.
Oh, super. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, for all those people that are watching us and are asking themselves, what is this all about? Obviously, I will leave everything written down underneath here in the box, so you can go and look for yourself. Check out her products. I think they are amazing. And artistic wise, as an actress, as a singer, as a performer, do you have plans, or is this
Yes,
on the
I'm
back
starting
burner?
again. I'm
Oh,
starting again. Yeah, my
okay.
music and my acting. I'm starting it again.
Oh, cool. So we'll be looking out for you then, girl.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm also working on a new TV show, a TV program here with five
Oh,
other girls.
oh, super, super.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you'll
we
hear
can't
about that
wait.
soon.
Can't wait to see what you bring to the table next with all the exciting stuff you keep giving us. So we'll be looking out for you. Obviously, where can people find you on social media?
On social media, Conchita Leeflang, and
Okay.
on Instagram, on Facebook, it's Conchita Leeflang, and on Twitter, it's Conchita Leaf because we couldn't make it longer.
Right. Yeah.
Cut my name, but
Okay, I will write it that down as well so people can look you up and see what you're all about. And obviously, I really want to thank you for spending this time with me and just,
oh,
telling people a little bit about your story, because I think it's very inspiring, and I hope we've inspired somebody, or we
yeah,
gave somebody a smile while listening
yes,
to
I
to
hope we did.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Conchita. All the luck for
Thank you
everything
for
you're
having
going to
me.
do.
Yeah,
Yes, you're so welcome. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon.
okay,
Okay.
thank
Oh,
you.
everybody, this was another episode of Essensuality, the podcast. Beautiful. I've spoken to Conchita Leeflang from Los Angeles. Naturally, I wait for you the next episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that now. You can share, like, or comment. Essensuality, the podcast. Mm. Thank you for watching another episode of Essensuality, the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, or share. Hope to see you next time.